So this is the TBS Source 2 that I showed on my channel recently. I didn't really like how the camera was mounted, and I didn't like that there was no mounting for the receiver antennas or the VTX antenna. And there is tons of stuff out there, 3D printed stuff that you can get for this particular frame to make it much nicer to mount things. So, okay, well, first of all, this wasn't on there last time. This is a session mount, and it's from Brain 3D. You can see right there, Brain 3D makes awesome shit for all kinds of frames. All the most popular frames. Most of them anyway. Actually, if there's something they don't make, you could probably talk them into making it for whatever frame it is that you're wanting. But this is the only piece I got from Brain 3D. They had a whole kit. There was arm protectors, camera mounts, antenna mounts. I mean, they do the whole thing, you know. But it was like $35 or something like that. And that's just too much money for 3D printed stuff. I mean, this shit is expensive, man. So I just got this. I think it was like $12 or something. And then I found this other place, and it's called Taco RC. Some of you might have heard of it. I've mentioned it before. I never really ordered from them before. I mean, I've heard of them, but I never ordered anything from them because I'm pretty sure they're in China. But they just so happen to have some kind of warehouses or something around here. It's like 20 minutes from my house. So when I order from them, it takes like 1 to 2 days for my order to come, which is pretty awesome. So yeah, if you live in the Seattle area and you order from Taco RC, you're gonna get your order lightning quick. So that's where I got the camera mount and the antenna mount. So let me show you the camera mount first. So this is what I was using before, just on the standoffs, and it was making it to where the camera was like, you know, pretty much inside the frame and bumping against the stack when you try to tilt it. Now this mount brings it way out to where it's outside the frame, but it's completely protected. You can see the mount, you know, it wraps around the whole thing, so it's just completely protecting the camera. And then as you can see, the camera is way far away from the stack now. So yeah, that's a pretty awesome mount. And the print job on it is pretty close to Brain 3D's. I mean, I can't see a difference, really. It's a really nice print. And it's not Taco RC that's printing this, actually. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it says when you go check it out on the page, I think it says who it is that prints this or designed it or whatever. And then the antenna mounts. This print wasn't as pretty, but it still looks just fine. And that's a SMA mount with the 2 antenna tube mounts. They also have all kinds of other mounts for like a Axie, Lollipop, whatnot. And then there's a bunch of different kinds of HD mounting for the top, and a bunch of different arm protectors. I mean, they have a ton of stuff for this frame. It's crazy, because I didn't even think this frame's been out for very long. What the hell? Yeah, I didn't think this frame had even been out for very long, and there's just so much stuff for it. It's crazy. They also have a ton of stuff for a lot of other frames too, so check them out. They don't pay me or anything, so yeah, I'm not forcing you to go check them out, but they have a ton of cool stuff. So anyway, I already showed everything else on this frame in my other video, but it wasn't finished up, so here it is finished up. And yeah, so this is for a guy. I built it for him and got him this radio to go with it, QX7. So I'm gonna show you how everything works and that everything works, and then I'll get this boxed up and shipped out today. So real quick, we got the TBS Master Pilot 2306 2400 kV motors. Very nice motors for the price. I think they're 16 bucks a piece. Nice and smooth, powerful, good motors. Next we have the Pyro Drone 45 amp 4-in-1. I showed this in my other video. Really nice 4-in-1 for the price. It's like 50 bucks and you get a ton of stuff with it, including the XT60. Then we got the Josh Bardwell F4 V2 flight controller. Good quality flight controller for the price. Got the AKK FX2. That's also a good VTX if you have the space, which on this particular frame there's plenty of space for it, as you can see, for mounting on your full-size stack. We have the Runcam Robin and a Lollipop 2 and XM Plus, and I got the XM Plus sandwiched in between the flight controller and the VTX with the bind button sticking out the back right here. So if you ever needed to bind again for some reason, I'm touching the bind button right now. You hold that down while you're plugging in the battery to bind it. Lots of videos on that though. So here's your radio. I already have the model set up and it's bound up and ready to go. Oops, I was going to tell you how to turn the radio on. So to turn the radio on, this is the power button right here. You got to hold it down until the 4 dots appear. So hold it down and then let go. If it says any kind of warnings, just push exit. Okay. But you want to make sure that your throttle is all the way down and that this is pushed back. This is your arm switch, so you want it to be pushed away from you. Okay. And this is your mode switch. So all the way up is angle mode, which means that when you push on the stick and let go, the quad will come back to level. Okay, so it helps you fly. Middle switch is also self-level, but if you push the stick past a certain point, it'll do a flip, but then it'll come back around and it'll self-level by itself. So and then all the way down is no self-leveling at all, so no help at all. You're flying it completely yourself. Okay, so yeah, that's your modes. 3 modes. 1, 2, 3. And then this is arm towards you, disarm away from you. And if you're about to crash, you're flying around, you're about to crash, you got to flip that switch quick away from you, because you want to disarm just before you crash. If you know that you're going to crash, you got to just disarm right away. Okay? Alright, so this is what you're going to want to do to fly your quad. You're going to turn the radio on first. If you get the warning, push exit. You want it to be on this screen right here. Okay? Set your radio down a couple feet away from the quad. Take the quad and plug the battery in. And you want to try to make it level while the flight controller is doing its thing for a second. So just set it there like that for a few seconds, okay? And now you're ready to fly. So we'll bring this around here. I'm going to set the quad down. Let's point this down so I can show you what it does. So we got the quad sitting here, we got the radio here. I'm going to flip the arm switch. See, it armed. Okay? So let's check it out. See how if I move the stick and then let go, it stays level. But if I flip the switch all the way down, then you'll see that it doesn't level. If I move the stick and let go, it's going to keep going in that direction. Alright, so that should be all you need to know to get flying. And while I have the battery plugged in, I'll show you the video. So there you go, there's the video. Looking good. I did flash the VTX or the receiver for RSSI. So you do have RSSI. It'll be in the middle on the bottom. And it starts at 99, and then the farther away you go, the farther down it goes. And when you get down to like 30 or 20, then the quad's gonna just drop out of the sky. So you want to keep an eye on that when you're flying around. So that should do it. Let me show you one more thing, because I'm sure you're gonna have to change props. Oh, and then to turn the radio off, you just hold the button down until you see the four dots disappear, and then you let go. For the props, so this is how it goes. It's motor 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so motors 1 and 4 get the prop that has the slant going away from you. See how the angle of the prop is pointed down? The angle, the tilt of the prop is pointing away from you. And then motors 2 and 3 have the prop with the angle going down towards you. Okay, I don't know if you can see that. See how the slant of the prop is like rolling downhill towards you, and then on this one the slant is rolling downhill away from you. Okay, so just try to remember that, or you know, maybe take some pictures of your quad when you get it. Actually, I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to ship. I'm 99% sure I'm not gonna be sending this with the props on, so you're gonna need to put the props on yourself. So maybe just refer to this video for help. Slant away from you for motors 1 and 4. Slant towards you for motors 2 and 3. All right. For the VTX, you got the button to change channels, bands, and power right here. It's a little white rectangle button right behind this nut, this plastic nut. I'm touching it right now, clicking it. And I'll send the paper that came with this that shows you how to change all that. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. You could change the angle of the camera. Oh, I was going to check that too, because I was thinking now that the camera's out away from the frame that there's not going to be anything, no props in view. But I don't know. Oh, no, they're in view. They're just down at the bottom. It's a wide angle. It's a 1.8 lens, so yeah, that's all right though. Still looks good. All right. USB plug for plugging into the computer for Betaflight if you needed to. But since I have your radio, you know, you don't need to plug into Betaflight at all. You can just go fly it right out of the box. Yeah, that should do it. Alright, so there you go, man. I'm gonna get this boxed up and I'll send you over some tracking. Alright.